to Movies on the Brain, your go-to channel for in-depth movie reviews. Today I dive into the 1984 sci-fi romance classic Starman, directed by the legendary John Carpenter and starring the incomparable Jeff Bridges. This film takes us on an immersive journey through love and adventure. Before we get started, a quick heads up. This review contains spoilers, so if you haven't seen Starman yet, consider this your warning. Now let's get ready to explore the cosmic and heartfelt tale of Starman. Grab your popcorn, sit back, and enjoy the ride as I take you through the highs and lows of this unforgettable film. Let's see how it did in the box office. Starman opened in theaters on December 14th, 1984, and had a budget of $24 million. In its 8-week theatrical run, Starman made $28.7 million. It had an opening weekend of $2.8 million, finishing the weekend at number 6 in the box office, behind The Cotton Club, 2010, City Heat, 1984's Dune, and Beverly Hills Cop. Numbers 5 through 1, respectively, with Dune and The Cotton Club both releasing the same weekend. When Starman left theaters the week of February 7th, it was at number 8 in the box office, with Beverly Hills still at number 1. A whole new crop of movies between them, including The Killing Fields, which jumped from number 16 to 2 in a week, and Tough Turf, which jumped from 19 to 6 in a week. Okay, now let's get into the plot. Voyager 2 space probe launched in 1977 carries a gold phonographic disc with a message of peace inviting alien civilizations to visit Earth. Probe is intercepted by an alien planet, which then sends a small scout vessel to establish first contact with Earth. Instead of greeting the alien craft, the U.S. government shoots it down, crashing in Heckamegan Bay, Wisconsin. The lone alien occupant, looking like a floating ball of glowing energy, finds the home of recently widowed Jenny Hayden. The alien uses a lock of hair from her deceased husband Scott, clone a body for himself, as which Jenny watches in terror. The alien Starman has seven small silver spheres. Try saying that 5 times fast. With him, which provides energy to perform miraculous feats. He used the first to send a message to his people stating that Earth is hostile and his spacecraft has been destroyed. He arranges to rendezvous with them in 3 days' time. He then uses the second sphere in self-defense, and the third to create a holographic map of the United States, forcing Jenny into taking him to the rendezvous in Arizona. Initially hostile to and frightened of him, Jenny attempts to escape. Having a very basic understanding of the English language from the Voyager 2 disc, Starman learns to communicate with Jenny and assures her he means no harm. He explains that if he does not reach the rendezvous point, Arizona's Barringer crater, in 3 days, he will die. Sympathetic but still wary, Jenny teaches him how to drive a car and use credit cards so he can continue the journey alone. When he resurrects a dead deer, she is deeply moved and decides to stay with him. The authorities pursue the pair across the country. A police officer shoots and critically wounds Jenny. To escape, the Starman crashes their car into a gas tanker and uses another sphere to protect them from the explosion. They take refuge in a mobile home that is being towed. He uses another silver sphere to heal Jenny. After being assured that Jenny will recover, he proceeds to hitchhike towards Arizona without her, but Jenny manages to catch up with him while he and his driver are stopped at a roadblock. Reunited, they hitchhike together, resuming their journey towards the crater. Later, while stowing away on a railroad boxcar, an intimate relationship ensues. Starman tells Jenny, "I gave you a baby tonight." Jenny explains that she is infertile and cannot have children, but he assures her that he is pregnant. She explains that Scott He explains that Scott is a posthumous father, as Starman used Scott's DNA to clone himself. As a child, also of Starman, their son will possess all the Starman's knowledge and will grow up to be a teacher. Starman offers to stop the pregnancy if she wishes, but Jenny joyfully embraces him, accepting the gift. They accidentally travel too far on the train and arrive in Las Vegas. Jenny loses her wallet. So the Starman uses one of their last quarters in a slot machine, which he manipulates to win the $500,000 jackpot. They buy a Cadillac to complete their journey to Arizona. National Security Agency Director George Fox learns that the Starman's flight trajectory prior to being shot down was to the Beringer crater and arranges to have the Army capture the Starman, dead or alive. Petty scientist Mark Sherman, another government official involved in the case, criticizes Fox's heavy-handed approach and reminds him that the Starman was invited to Earth. Appalled to learn that Fox is planning to vivisect the alien, Sherman then resolves to help the Starman escape rather than let Fox capture him. Jenny and the slowly dying Starman reach the crater as Army helicopters pursue them. Just as they are surrounded, a large spherical spaceship appears and descends into the crater. Light surrounds the couple, and the Starman is fully healed immediately. As he prepares to leave, he tells Jenny that he will never see her again. Jenny asks him to take her with him, but he says she would die on his world. He then gives her his last silver sphere, telling her that their son will know what to do with it. Jenny watches as the ship departs. Now let's look at the cast and some of the other roles they've done. Jeff Bridges as Starman. Other roles for Jeff Bridges includes Lightfoot in Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, Jeffrey Lebowski in The Big Lebowski, and Charles Howard in Seabiscuit. Karen Allen as Jenny Hayden. Other roles for Karen Allen include Marion Ravenwood in the Indiana Jones franchise, Perry Monroe in Ghost in the Machine, and Melissa Brown in The Perfect Storm. Charles Martin Smith as Mark Sherman. Other roles for Charles Martin Smith include Terry the Toad Fields in American Graffiti, Dr. Marcus Wolfe in Deep Impact, and he was also the director of Air Bud and Dolphin Tales 1 and 2. Richard Jekyll as George Fox. Before his passing in June of 1997, other roles for Richard Jekyll include Private Frank Flint in Sanzo Iwo Jima, Sergeant Clyde Bowron in The Dirty Dozen, and Stud Hardy in Walking Tall Part 2. Robert Phelan as Major Bell. Before his passing in December of 1995, other roles for Robert Phelan include Dr. Terrence Wynn in 1978's Halloween, Newberry in 3 Days of the Condor, and the coroner in Impulse, which was his final role. Tony Edwards as Sergeant Lemon. Other roles for Tony Edwards include Jerry in Perfect Fit, the limo driver in Hot Shots Part 2, and Link Winslow in the TV show Top of the Hill. John Walter Davis as Brad Heinmuller. Other roles for John Walter Davis include Chet Williams in Digstown, Blobber in Tango and Cash, and Axe in Quicksilver. Ted White as the Deer Hunter. Before his passing in October of 2022, other roles for Ted White include Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, Tommy Ray in Hot Pursuit, and Grogan in Romancing the Stone. Dirk Blocker as Cop Number 1. Other roles for Dirk Blocker include Jerry Bragg in the TV show Baa Black Sheep, Michael Hitchcock in the TV show Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and George in Night of the Scarecrow. MC Gainey as Cop Number 2. Other roles for MC Gainey include Earl Swamp Thing Williams in Con Air, Migsy in the TV show Against the Law, and Tom Friendly in the Los Viadomas video game. George Buck Flower as the cook. Before his passing in June of 2004, other roles for George Buck Flower include Bull Parker in A Small Town in Texas, Tommy Wallace in The Fog, and Red the Bum in Back to the Future Part 2. Ralph Cosham as the Marine Lieutenant. Before his passing in September of 2014, other roles for Ralph Cosham include Judge Basil Stewart in Suspect, Justice Jensen in The Pelican Brief, and Dr. Clark in the TV miniseries Kennedy. Lou Leonard as the roadhouse waitress. Before her passing in May of 2004, other roles for Lou Leonard include Mrs. Pug in 1982's Annie, Ingrid Horn in Without You I'm Nothing, and Mabel in the TV show Knight Rider. Mickey Jones as the truck driver. Before his passing in February of 2018, other roles for Mickey Jones include mechanic in National Lampoon's Vacation, Spit and Sam in the Beverly Hillbillies movie, and Monty Johnson in Sling Blade. David Wells as Fox's assistant. Other roles for David Wells include Loki and Thor the Dark World video game, Andrew Fickman in the LA Noire video game, and Del Maxwell in Contagion. Ronald Colby as the cafe owner. Other roles for Ronald Colby include Phil Robbins in Hide and Go Seek, Martin Garrett Sr. in Dogs Bark Blue, and the majestic doorman in Defending Your Life. You know, for a movie that came out in the early 80s, this movie still holds up surprisingly well. This was honestly a lot of fun. Really enjoyed the chemistry between Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen. First time I watched this movie in a few years. I had forgotten. I had no idea it was Jeff Bridges because I only knew him from movies like The Big Lebowski and R.I.P.D. If you like sci-fi movies and don't mind romance in your sci-fi movies, this is one I could definitely recommend. It's actually kind of wild to think that John Carpenter, who is famous for directing Halloween movies, specifically the 1978 and then 2018 to 2022 movies, and The Fog, directed this. Let's look at some fun facts and trivia about this movie. The script for this movie was being developed at Columbia at the same time as another script about an alien visitation. The studio did not want to make both, so the head of the studio got to choose which film he wanted to make. He decided to make this one and let the other script go to a rival studio. The other script was for E.T. the Extraterrestrial. After E.T. became such a huge hit, apparently Starman sat on the shelf for almost 3 years before Columbia Pictures Studios agreed to release it. This is the only John Carpenter film to have an Academy Award nomination for Jeff Bridges for Best Actor. Actor Jeff Bridges studied ornithology and the behavior of birds to prepare for his role as an alien in human form for this movie. Bridges particularly used the sudden jerky head movements, amongst other nuances and mannerisms of birds, for his Starman character. Bridges figured that the alien would not have human characteristics, and being encased in a human body would act with basic primitive alien instincts. The film's director, John Carpenter, wanted to use the United States of America as our very own backlot, so the cast and crew traveled from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, then Winslow, Meter Crater, and Monument Valley, Arizona, east to Nashville, Chattanooga, and Manchester, Tennessee, upstate New York, and Washington, D.C. The film company then returned to California to complete filming at the Burbank Studios. Jeff Bridges walks outside of the house naked and uses a marble. His hair seems to stand on end. This effect was actually created by shooting Bridges hanging upside down and then matting the shot onto the background the right way up to give him the surreal look. His father, Lloyd Bridges, did a similar shot, albeit comedic, for Airplane. The film's two leads, Karen Allen and Jeff Bridges, sang a duet in a new rendition of All I Have to Do Is Dream, which was included on the movie soundtrack. The song heard in the film is an abridged acoustic version. The song was also recorded and filmed a music video, which was available on the DVD. According to John Carpenter and the audio commentary on Big Trouble in Little China, the main reason he directed Starman was due to the box office disaster of The Thing. He needed to make a movie that was tonally complete opposite of The Thing to ensure his employability in Hollywood. The rendezvous crater location where the Starman was to meet and return to the mothership is a place situated just outside of Winslow, Arizona. According to National Geographic, the site is 1 mile wide, 570 feet deep, and about 49,000 years old. The role of Starman originally went to Kevin Bacon. Tom Cruise was also considered. After Ted White finished his scenes for Friday the 13th, the final chapter, he immediately started to work on this film. The production shot for this film ran between late February, with completion of post-production occurring around February or around November 1984. John Carpenter makes an uncredited appearance as one of the men in one of the helicopters. And that's a wrap on our review of Starman here at Movies on the Brain. I hope you enjoyed my deep dive into this sci-fi romance gem directed by John Carpenter, featuring a stellar performance by Jeff Bridges. Starman is a timeless tale that continues to captivate audiences. If you like this review, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more movie insights. Drop a comment below to let me know your thoughts on Starman and share your favorite moments from the film. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes on the screen and your mind on the movies.